Hello and welcome to Professor Herman Manyora's channel. Here with Professor Herman Manyora. Professor, wonderful day, second day of the week. How are you this day?
Wonderful.
You're just wonderful.
Wonderful.
How's the weather for you?
Well, good. Not very cold, not hot, balanced.
The good weather.
Good weather.
Today we're speaking about former Prime Minister RAILA Odinga, someone who people say you advocate for in this channel every single time. Oh, Professor, you're just here for RAILA. Let me start with this. Why hasn't he yet announced his presidential bid? As of now, people are expecting to see that announcement. People in the comment usually say we're waiting for the Mandela moment. Why hasn't he yet?
First of all, it's not bad to speak for RAILA. In fact, many people should speak for RAILA. Many more people. He's not synonymous with our struggle. He stands for all the good things that we need in this country and that we have fought for. Having said that, I must point out, I'm an analyst. I'm a commentator on issues. I'm a public intellectual. I don't speak for RAILA. If I chose to speak for him, I'll go and work for him. He'll give me a job. He'll give me a job. But so I just say my thing. If it happened to say good things about him, so be it. The reason why he hasn't announced has been, like I've said repeatedly, is because of BBI. He had put it categorically that he would not talk about 2022 until BBI was out of the way. Now with BBI out of the way, he has begun showing signs he's running. What else do you want him to do?
It's been over 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Of course, he's now, but in the same time, he has given all the signs, including talking about it. Yeah, in Kakamega, he was asking people...
So you'd say it is not affecting him in any way whether he announces now or announces...
Now it's already announced. He will just make it be a formality. Yeah, now it's...
At what point would it be late for him to come out?
It's never really late. You know, if you look at our politics from 2002, this thing is always done 2, 3, 4 months before the election. You know, coalitions, parties. Yeah.
Oh, is it just because the
from the Rainbow 202, PNU 2007 and ODM, from Jubilee, CORD, NASA, they always come just a couple of months before elections.
Do we see him, it's like he's coming late because Ruto came out, I think, 4 years ago.
But you see, Ruto is a beginner. RAILA is a veteran. You think you need the same time as a veteran? You think Ruto can need the same time RAILA needs, and vice versa? If Ruto needs 3 years, RAILA just needs 4 days.
Okay, here's what Dennis Itumbi...
Now, when I say that, people say I'm supporting, but it's the reality. You see, even like football, I've given examples of football.
Yeah. Even though you don't watch it.
Yeah, I don't watch it, but you know, an experienced player like this, I don't know, I know that. I only know Messi. I don't know who else.
Cristiano Ronaldo was on the pitch.
You think they need as much time as these other small boys? No. Just give him one thing like this and on an 8.
Okay, I'm saying Dennis Itumbi, he came out and said that Jubilee meetings have been pressurizing RAILA not to announce his presidential candidature in the pretext that they were organizing the other players to back him before he declares his bid, although they want Gideon Moi to take over the presidential bid and be announced. Is this propaganda?
Rubbish. The handshake was about RAILA being president. There you can play anything you want to play. Uhuru and RAILA sat together, I'm sure, and they agreed there are problems facing this country. And the major way of solving the problem is to address the betrayal of the Luo nation from independence up to now. Once you do that, everything else will fall in place.
They were using the hashtag...
Hii kitu kama Kibaki angewacha RAILA after some time, there will be nothing in this country like tribalism.
Is RAILA's presidency going to show a sign of unity with all other tribes that anyone can become president? Once
RAILA becomes president, I'm certain he will. I could be wrong, of course, but I'm certain, and I'm allowed to be certain, even if I can be wrong. You'll see how tribalism will be phased out of this country. It will be gone. If Kibaki had done that, it is for that reason I never call Kibaki a good president. People can give him all the accolades. I never. We missed a golden opportunity to kill tribalism in this country. If he had worked with RAILA the way they had agreed in the MOU, become president, work on the constitution, make him prime minister, have all the executive powers president, do 1 term, give it to RAILA. Let RAILA do another term or 2, give it to other people, Musalia Mudavadi, Kalonzo, this country will be so fine development, and tribalism will be a thing of the past. So if Uhuru and Raila want to do it now, they have my support.
But tribalism necessarily doesn't come from whoever is the president, does it? Or does it come from
the
incitement that comes post the elections?
You think people are tribal. I'm with you. Are you a lawyer?
No.
Then?
And that's why I'm saying that
you
it doesn't come from the top.
If there was something we were competing for right now, you'll become a Kikuyu and I'll become a lawyer. So, tribalism iko kule juu kwa wakubwa wanataka ukubwa. Lakini raia hapa chini hawana tribalism. Yeah.
And that's
so once you sort out the way BBI was trying to do, you know, people are blind to the good things in BBI. BBI was saying, let us form teams, tag teams. Ruto comes up with his team, from where there will be a president, deputy president, prime minister, deputy prime minister, deputy prime minister. And then there are also these other positions of speaker, AG, the ones that the president can appoint. There are about 10, 15, then there are cabinet slots. You come up with your team. It will feature all people from across the country. Let Raila come up with his team, featuring people. You will end this thing, tribalism. Yes.
And that was the reason.
That was a good thing in BBI, and people are not seeing it.
Raila Odinga is also...
It's what is used in the universities by the Universities Act. Student leadership. If you want to stand for student leadership in the university today, according to the law, you must come up with a team that meets certain criteria, including no one person, two people from the same county.
So as a voter, you're seeing your representation among
yes.
Okay, I was saying Raila is also coming up with Azimio la Umoja, almost the same thing to do with unity.
Yes.
The deputy president has been calling his bottom-up approach. His is from the economic perspective.
Yeah.
Is this going to help Raila get votes? Azimio la Umoja, he's pushing it.
This
so
Umoja
hard.
thing is going to, it will bring it is bringing BBI in another format, and you'll see. You know, Raila is a political animal. He will just toss one thing in the ring, and Ruto will be gasping for air. What I suspect Raila is going to do is to form a team. Talk about Azimio la Umoja, Azimio la Umoja, Azimio la... Then pop, then you have a national team. Then Mudavadi is out, but there are 4 lawyers in that team. Then Kalonzo is out, but there's Ngilu, there is Mutua, there is Kibwana in that team. Then you see, it has the whole of Kenya. Then Ruto is left in some corner alone. That's how it will work, I suspect.
So it's a strategy
to bring BBI back through another way.
Will it work for him?
It will work. I fear Raila.
Can it beat the Hustler Nation?
Raila, even more feared Raila more than Jaramogi.
Saying Ruto has his Hustler Nation, which is doing so well, resonating with people who are working hard daily. And then Azimio la Umoja, which is supposedly supposed to bring people to a thought of we are tribalists and so we should come up together. Is it going to really beat the Hustler?
You see, and I've said this many times, Ruto is taking his game to the people directly. Raila knows that Kenyan politics is tribal. It is played through regional kingpins. So he's going to bring all these big people together. You see, Ruto will talk to the people. But as sure as day comes after night, the people will follow their leaders. The people will become tribal. You tell me how professors, engineers, doctors, teachers, educated men and women, how they never stop being Kikuyus when they are going to vote. When they can talk all the good things outside there. But tell me how many of them vote for Raila from Central. You mean all those people in Central, there's none who sees Raila is a good man. How come all Luos are voting for Raila? How come Uhuru does not get votes from there? So that includes very highly educated people. Yeah. This for among the voters.
This for you is what you're saying.
Yes.
Ruto is not getting.
Oh, he will not get because these people will become Kikuyus. In the 2010, during the campaign for the 2010 Constitution, Ruto and the church were in the no team. People said because a majority of us are Christians in this country. We are Christians more than anything else, and then we are Muslims. So we are religious. And the religious people didn't want this thing, the Constitution. Ruto was the captain. People say they will win. But when the time to come to vote for the Constitution, people voted with their leaders, not with the church. They are members of the church, but they voted with Uhuru or Raila. They didn't vote with the church. They voted with Kibaki and Raila. You get, this is this society. I want it to happen in my lifetime. But I fear it may not. I may not see it myself. You people in your lifetime, it will be there. Not in my lifetime. It will be very difficult. Something big a bang will have to happen for Kenyans to move away from primordial instincts when they are voting. For the people themselves to engage a leader like Ruto directly all the way up to the vote. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me give you a very good example in Mount Kenya. Ruto has all the people right now. But when the time comes, Kikuyu leaders, Uhuru included, are going to spin narratives. You know, we are not going to be in power for the next so many years. If Ruto is going to do 10 years, then we don't know who else will take. By that time, the Luyas will have become #1 in population. What? We could do without this thing for the next 50 years. We must take care of our interests. This Raila ni mzee, tukimpa deputy. After 5 years, hata simama, we shall come back to power. Narratives will be swung. How are we going to live in politics when we are not in power? What are our interests? We are all over the country. Who will protect us more than the other? Yeah. When those narratives begin to float on the mountain, all these people swing with Uhuru. You choke. They go with Raila.
Moving forward, are you seeing Raila coming up with these big coalitions that are going to help him? And how do you see him making up these coalitions that are going to get him the numbers, especially in Mount Kenya?
Raila does not need, and I have repeated many times, what Raila and Uhuru need is to throw confusion on the mountain, including what I have just said, narratives. If those narratives give them 30%, they are good to go. Ruto cannot be president.
So which regions would you say he needs the most? He was in Kakamega, yes, and you called it the triumphant entry in the video.
Yes.
Are these the regions that are going to make him president?
Raila will have votes from the traditional sources here. He normally gets votes. If Mudavadi is not with him, the votes will go down significantly. But there will still be enough to see him move forward. If Kalonzo stands, depends on how he stands. Does he do it alone? Does he do it with Mudavadi? So Raila may have a problem in Ukambani. But again, and this is what Raila and Uhuru are praying for. And that's why they are keeping Mudavadi and Kalonzo busy. False promises, wanapembelezwa nini. They don't know they are wasting time. The best thing for them is to work within the handshake. Then they can have something. But if they continue this, the best case scenario for Uhuru and Raila is Kalonzo stands on his own. Hizo kura napata zinapotea na yeye. Zingeenda kwa Ruto. The best case scenario for Mudavadi, he stands on his own.
When you open Raila.
Yeah, when you open Raila,
ingeenda kwa Ruto.
Because ingeenda kwa Ruto. So I don't know why they are not seeing mtihani. I have leaked the exam to them. You know me, I'm a teacher. I have leaked the exam to Mudavadi. Yeah. And these people don't even want to, they think I'm bad to them. This is a leakage. They want you out of the way. Because there's only now one position of deputy. You could want it. So enda anguka na hiyo kura Ruto angechukua. Dito Kalonzo. And one thing is, the moment Kalonzo is running on his own, even Kambas will not be convinced he can be president. They will know. They will know he's going nowhere. Yeah. The Luyas will know Mudavadi is going nowhere if he's standing on his own. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
For that reason, Raila will still scoop most of the votes from Western. And Ngilu and Mutua and Kibwana will bring sizable votes from Ukambani to Raila because they will be seen to be active members of the winning team. You get it? Yeah. At that time, Gideon will have come into that team.
Finally, let me just ask, is there something that you feel like the former Prime Minister is not doing rightly? We've said that he has so many strategies that they may work for him. What do you say right now that he should work on?
I've always pointed out for Raila, he must work on messaging because he's going against Ruto. Ruto is bad news. You must know how you craft your messages. Messaging is critical. You get it?
Yeah.
Because nobody compares to Ruto now in terms of public speaking and getting his thing, his act. And even what a situation you thought was so difficult for him, he wriggles out of it by power of the gab. You get it? Yeah. So they must know they no longer own the stage. The stage is a tricky place for them. So they must know how to do the messaging, how to deliver it. And I said as early as 2017, 2018, the presidency in 2022 will be won on narratives. Those who have the best narrative, told by the best storytellers. So the media now in Kenya is beginning to play the critical role the media plays in developing countries when it comes to elections. Actually, in America, it's the media that elects a president. You get it? Once in a while, somebody like Trump can defy the media. You get? And Obama can come from nowhere. But under normal circumstances, for the longest time, The media determines who becomes president in Europe and America. So they should do messaging properly, and they will have to put resources into their campaign.
We actually did a video on it.
Yes.
If you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it. Let me just call it a wrap here. We spoke about campaign and oiling campaigns. Yes. We'll put the link right down below. Until we have these conversations again, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Professor, for coming through. Tomorrow, we're doing Understanding Politics.